thing about my sister and I. We've never gotten along. This is what happens when you have parents who are obsessed with family and the viscosity of blood relative to water. You resent the force in which they push you together with a person who is, genetics aside, a stranger. And that's what my sister is, a stranger. Not to mention a strange girl. Even when we were kids, she had this weird fixation on contradicting everything I said, just because. She would pick a phrase to scream at the top of her lungs and do so over and over like a computer glitch until I ran out of the room. Whatever, it's not important now, but she's always been trouble. When I tell you that my sister has ran away to the land of the dead, do not mistake me. She hasn't died. She just does what she always does. Go to a place where she isn't welcome and crash the party, just because she feels like it. She heard there was some cool stuff happening on the other side of the veil, and went. I only know where she is because I managed to sober up her blitzed out roommate via a cold bucket of water to the face, just long enough to access their Wi-Fi. I found her search history, her bus ticket to Bethlehem, which is the nearest portal, her emails to her friends about how it's going to be so amazing, etc. I'm sorry and embarrassed that I have to ask you for money for this endeavor. The truth is, well, I'm doing pretty well, all things considered. I don't have the money necessary for this journey. All of you embarrassed that I put this online, but maybe a dose of shame will do her some bloody good. If you sense a tone of resentment in this entire project, that's because I have to go chasing after my wretchedly ungrateful wastrel of a sibling into another dimension to tell her that our parents are dead. Here's how the cost will break down. $36.95, bus ticket to Bethlehem. $176.05, cost of ingredients to summon the necessary portal. $16, the cheapest bottle of whiskey that I can force myself to drink. $5,000, a one-time fee for crossing. The land of the dead is the land of the dead. Sometimes people don't come back. As for how my parents died, you know how there was that SUV recall recently because the brakes in some of their cars are failing for no reason, causing a series of high-profile, deadly accidents? I wish that was how they died. No. My father shot my mother through her left eye, then turned the gun on himself. Nobody knows why. I came over for dinner. Olive had been invited too, but she backed out last minute. She said she had stuff to do, which is honestly better than her arriving 2 hours late with police cars in the driveway. Anyway, thank God she wasn't there. I don't remember the last time I spoke to Olive. I don't remember the first time I spoke to Olive. People ask, what's your biggest regret? In order from greatest to least. Being born, having a little sister, not being adopted, caring at all. They also ask, what's your biggest fear? Genetics. If you pledge $5 or more, you'll get a thank you email from Olive, which I will make her deliver. $20 or more, a small gift from the land of the dead. A pebble, a twig, or something like that. A finger, which I will deliver in a small, sealed jar. Do not open the jar, keep it in the jar. $50 or more, I will send salt for my personal tears. In crystal form, hand evaporated. Pledge $100 or more, and I will drive my sister to your house where you can ask her any question. I know I haven't hit my funding goal yet, but I'm just going to put it on a credit card and pray. I'm on a bus to Bethlehem, which has pretty decent Wi-Fi connection, but weirdly, no toilets. I'm assuming Olive has no idea I'm coming, because there's no reception in the land of the dead, but I've been texting her every hour on the hour anyway, just to cover my bases. I haven't told her why I'm coming, because I can't tell her that our parents are dead via text message. I mean, I could, but despite what she thinks about me, I'm not a monster. I walked 2 hours to the elementary school playground. I saw the sigil and I draw the sigil and arrange the ingredients according to my notes. I say the spell, the unfamiliar syllables catching behind my teeth. When the portal opens, a faceless creature is standing there. It's tall and roughly shaped, like a dust storm or a swarm of gnats. There are dimples where its eyes should be, but I feel like it's watching me anyway. It takes my credit card, holds it for a moment, and then hands it back. Oh, I also got a comment on this page from Olive. 3 comments. I guess she does have reception. Olive, I'm coming anyway, kid. You can't stop me. I may not be the best older sister in the world, but I can do this. Then we're at the land of the dead. This is what they don't tell you about the land of the dead. It looks and smells like the some approximation of your entire life, but in muted colors and shifting scents. Sunscreen, then smoke, then raspberry shaving cream. When I step through the portal, I see layers of images shimmering in front of me. The street where I grew up, my current bedroom, my college dorm, all in grays, creams, and beiges. They shift back and forth as if the land of the dead is trying to decide which is the most comforting, and settles on our childhood street. It smells like cedar and blood. Partying here seems like an impossibility. This is the sort of place where I cry, or scream, or eat ice water, or have an existential crisis, or drown myself in a memory. There's no club music, only the sound of birds. It takes me a while to find Olive. The road stretches and meanders and doesn't lead me exactly where I want to go, like in a dream. I twist through fragments of memory. I see the Girl Scout campground where I bit off a chunk of my tongue, tripping into a cold fire pit. I see an empty kitchen, a pot of soup boiling over the stove. Then I come upon a 2-story house, my childhood home, well, ours. She's in the living room. I see her red hair through the window. I open the front door. She is on the couch, the green couch where we both stayed when we had the chicken pox. When she looks up and sees me, she begins screaming. She tells me she's going to stay. I say to her, "You cannot stay." And she says, "We can bring Mom and Dad back with us. It'll be different." And I say, "No, it doesn't work that way. I have only enough spell ingredients for 2 people, and besides, only visitors can leave, not the committed. The land of the dead is the worst kind of hospital." "How did you get here?" she asks. "Magic," I simply say. And it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, even if I'm not. She says, "I hate you." And I say, "Sure." I pick her up from the couch and carry her across the threshold of our house. I drop her onto her feet and pull her through the streets. I remind her that we are all each other has. She pushes against my grip around her wrist, a balloon angling for freedom. "Let me go!" she shouts. "Please?" "No," I say. We flip past my memories, and the images waver like someone had just bumped into a projector. And we come back to the portal, beyond what is the playground, glowing faintly in the watery dawn. But I reach out to touch it. Someone materializes in front of us, a woman with sad eyes and a floppy sun hat, like she's a hipster or going to a beach in 1948. She points to me. "You can go." Then she looks at Olive. "You," she says, "you need to stay, and you know that." Olive says, "I told you not to come for me." She told me that she came over to Mom and Dad's early to catch me. She was going to ask you if I wanted to go partying with her in the land of the dead, just so we could hang out. Turns out she was in the woods behind my parents' house when the gun went off. They weren't looking for her. That's why they didn't find her. Oh, yes!